from actually all over London. We have His Grace Rupanuga Prabhu here, who is the Temple Commander and Assistant President at the Radha Landaneshwara Temple in Soho Street in central London. We have many devotees from Bhaktivedanta Manor in Watford, including His Grace Diagram Prabhu, who is a deaf devotee, and that's why he's got a translator here with him, along with other deaf devotees who come along with us on this journey. And many other devotees have come from Cardiff, Wales, Northampton, Croydon, many other areas of London. So it's our privilege to again thank the management here, Anand Prabhu, and all the wonderful devotees. It's nice to reacquaint with you again, and very, very kind of you to host us in this way. And so therefore, we wanted to again give gratitude to all of you, and we hope to have further association with you. Rupanuga Prabhu is going to give the Bhagavad Gita class today. I invite him to take the Vyasasana, and he's from France, but originating from Martinique, and he has a French background, and a French accent, yes. So class will be Frenglish, like French English, like that. So if you don't understand something, don't worry, we'll be able to try and clarify that for you. Or you can follow the translation here if you want in sign language. So please, without further ado, His Grace Rupanuga Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much. Honor to be here. I didn't expect to see so much opulence, majestic. Actually, when we arrived,
just keep it on.
When we arrived from Nairobi, we took a bus from the train station. And then as we were driving down the streets, I looked left and I thought, oh, Swaminarayan Temple is here. I thought it was a Swaminarayan Temple. I didn't expect that because in the UK we have huge temples, Swaminarayan Temple. So I didn't expect that actually it was New Dwarka. So I'm very, very impressed to see such opulence. A replica of the actual Dwarka in the spiritual world. So I feel very much honored to be here. And let's start the class. Hare Krishna. And do you have cartels? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Bharaba Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vajrajaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Madhava Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vajrajaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, text, verse 59. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So 1859. Yad akankaram asritya nat yotsya iti manyase mityaisa yavasyaste praktisvam nikyo prakritistam nikyoshati. Yadankaram asritya nayosya iti manyase mityesa yavasyaste prakritisvam yokshayate. Yad ankaram asritya Nayotsya iti manasye Mintyasa vyavasyate Praktis vam yokshyati.
Yad ahankaram asritya Nayosya iti manyase Mithaise dosayaste Prakriti swamniyokshati Yad ahankaram asritya Nayosya iti manyase
Mataji's? One for translation. Yad, if. Ankara, of false ego. Asritya, taking shelter. Nayutse, I shall not fight. Iti, thus. Manyase, you think. Mithya, Esha. This is all false. Vyavasya, determination. Te, you. Prakriti, material nature. Tvam, you. Niyokshati, will engage. Translation, on peut quote from his Living Grace, ici, Bhakti Natasha Upada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. If you do not act according to my direction, and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. Arjuna was a military man, born of the nature of the Kshatriya. Therefore, his natural duty was to fight. But due to false ego, he was fearing that by killing his teacher, grandfather, and friends, he would incur sinful reactions. Actually, he was considering himself master of his action, as if he were directing the good and bad results of such work. He forgot that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present there, instructing him to fight. That is the forgetfulness of the conditioned soul. The Supreme Personality gives directions as to what is good and what is bad. And one simply has to act in Krishna consciousness to attain the perfection of life. No one can ascertain his destiny as the Supreme Lord can. Therefore, the best course is to take direction from the Supreme Lord and act. No one should neglect the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or the order of the spiritual master, who is the representative of God. One should act unhesitatingly to execute the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that will keep one safe under all circumstances. Om Mangyana Timinandasya, Janamjala Salataya, Shakshunita Mina Tasman Shikuli Namaha, Shishatanya Vistam, Shtapitamina Bhutale, Zvayamupa Pranamayan, Datavisna Panambitam, Nomham Shiguru, Shikatamanam, Shiguru Vishavamsha, Shirupam Sagadatam, Sagana Hadivatam Tantam Sanjivam, Sadgatam Savaditam, Pajanam, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Pada, Sadhana Ravina, Shri Vishitanya Damsha, Hey Krishna, Karina Sindhi, Dinabondu Jatapadu, Gopesha Vipeta Kanta, Rakanta Kanta Tapta Kanchani Go Lange, Radha Vinameshwari, Vashabenu Sutevili, Animali Navitili, Manchakalpa Tavidyasha, Kripa Sindhu Vacha, Patitanam Bhavanidu, Vaishnavidu Namo Namaha, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Bhagavata Gadadara, Shri Vasavi Gopalabhrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm going to repeat the translation of this verse. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in welfare. So, in this verse, Krishna is giving a warning to Arjuna, as he did also in the previous verse, 58. Not a warning, but more encouragement. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not walk in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So the problem, oh, Shishi Bakirati, Shishi Shita, Sitaramachanamanti, Shishi Gorninaiki, Krishna. The problem in our material existence is a false ego. That is a big problem. We were talking recently with our group from London about the ego, because it is something to understand very clearly. Ego. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 said, Nadvametam Shanadutam, Nadvenime Shanadupa, Nachevana Vavisyama, Sadevaya Mataparam. Krishna said that actually this individuality of us is constant. We were individual in the past, we are individual now, and we will remain individual in the future. So ego means individual. We are one person, and we remain one person for eternity. So real ego is to understand, as Prabhupada explained many times, that we are an eternal servant of Krishna. Dasa Dasa Nudas, actually. We are the servant of the servants of the servants of the Supreme Lord. This is actual definition of real ego. And false ego means that, to put it very simply, we are this body. I am this body. So it is a conception which is very, very difficult to overcome, since the false ego is part of the subtle body, or the body that we cannot see. We can see the physical body, but we cannot see the subtle body. We may understand, although we don't see, mind. As Prabhupada explained once when he was visiting the Franciscan monks in America. During his class, he was explaining, you know that I have a mind, and I know that you have a mind, but I cannot see it. In the same way, you know that I have intelligence, I know that you have intelligence, but I cannot see it. But the false ego, ahankara, it is very difficult to perceive, because false ego means the most subtle part of the subtle body. So we cannot actually see it, and we cannot understand it properly, unless we are actually taught or explained by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So the false ego is the source of all problem. Prakriti kriminani, gunyatamasa sarvasa, ankara vimudatma, kataramiti danyate. Krishna explained that the spirit soul, influenced by the false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities. So in that way, we are put in difficulty. And without actual knowledge, spiritual knowledge, we cannot actually overcome those difficulties. So Krishna gave a warning to Arjuna. If you don't act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. So it is a mistake to think that we are actually independent. We understand that we have a free will by the grace of the Lord. But this free will doesn't mean that we are completely independent, actually. We are constantly under the control of the Lord. So we have a choice. of working under the direction of the Lord directly or working indirectly. Indirectly means working under the jurisdiction of the divine energy of the Lord, Mahamaya. Devaisi guna maya, mamayaya duratyaya, mamevaye padayante, mayametam talantite. Krishna explained in the second chapter how difficult it is to overcome this Maya. It's impossible, actually, impossible. Because Maya is the divine energy of the Lord, because she is acting and working under the divine direction of Krishna. So Prabhupada has explained that Maya, she's actually a devotee of Krishna. She works under the direction of Krishna. Maya is actually, as Prabhupada explained, she has a thankless task to keep the conditioned soul under the illusion. And why so? Because the conditioned soul is simply obstinated, is rebellious under the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, and it doesn't want to follow his direction. How those directions are given? The Lord is very kindly giving those directions after creating this material world, of the world of illusion, where one can operate through the false ego and engage in so-called activities for his so-called happiness, which cannot be actually be found. The Lord still, out of his causeless mercy, he delivered himself the message as he did 5,000 years ago, Bhagavad Gita as it is, and also through the Bible, through the Quran, through the Torah, etc. So the direction of the Supreme Lord are given for every one in this material world, especially for the human beings. This is what makes the difference between animal and human beings. Prabhupada explained actually there is no difference between human society and animal society. Therefore, the Lord has created the Varnashra system to elevate the human being or man beyond or above the animal platform. Chatur Vidya Maya Shreshya Guma Karma Vibhagasya. Krishna explained, according to the mode of nature, on the work related to them, I have created this system, Varnashra system. So Arjuna is a Kshatriya. He's been trained as a Kshatriya. It is his duty, actually, to fight on the battlefield. If he doesn't do so, he's actually working against the will of the Lord. Especially the Lord was there with him on the battlefield. Similarly, according to our nature, all of us, we have actually a duty to perform. And we should act according to our nature also. Wherever one has Brahminical capacity, usually Brahmanas refer to those who are intelligent, those who can understand higher knowledge and help others to elevate themselves. Kshatriya are those who are endowed with quality to protect others. Brahmanas work under the mode of goodness, Kshatriya under the mode of passion, Vaishyas are the farmer or the mercantile. They are working under a mix of passion and ignorance. And the Sudras, the last class, are working under the mode of ignorance. But all of those can be elevated to the highest platform by following the spiritual counterparts, Varna ashram. Therefore, the Vedic system, Vedic life is very elevated actually. And this is what is lacking in this Western world. There is no conception of the Varnashram system. Someone over, the Varna can be found all over the world. We can see in every type of countries. We can see some men directing the country, leaders. Unfortunately, there are no kshatriyas. Kali Yuga, everyone is Sudras. That is the problem. So they are not trained. Vaishyas, Sudras, but there is no spiritual education. Therefore, it is a necessity for the welfare of the whole world that the Krishna consciousness movement is spread. I was very impressed to see in Nairobi how much, how the preaching is going on so nicely. I was very happy to see so much local taking part of the kirtan, of the classes, play brilliantly the instruments, dancing ecstasy in front of the lordships. And actually, after speaking with a few of them, realizing actually the depth of their understanding of this Krishna consciousness. I was speaking with His Grace Chaitanya Karun Das, who joined 2 or 3 years back. And he used to come in a Sunday feast like that. And he was listening to, what's his name? Ragmash? It's not Rukma? Rukma Prabhu. Every Sunday. And gradually, knowledge enters his ears and his heart. And he realized this is a way, basically. And he became a full-fledged devotee. He got initiated. And it is growing, basically, like that. So, how important it is to follow the direction of the Supreme Person of Godhead. How important it is. In the purport, Prabhupada explained that due to false ego, he was fearing that by killing his teacher, grandfathers, and friends, he would incur sinful reactions. So Arjuna was on the battlefield, facing his family member, his friend, etc., and he found himself in a very perplexed situation. He was very fearful. But actually, there is no much difference between Arjuna and ourselves in his very life. Arjuna is a liberated soul, Nityasiddha. He's an eternal associate of Krishna. He's simply playing the role of conditioned soul. So Krishna, actually, through Arjuna, is speaking to us. On the fearing of losing the loved ones is there within all of us. We may read or study Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, but when it comes to practical life, we are faced with those moments of desperation or great anguish or great sadness. So how important it is to go deeper into this understanding. How important it is. So we are facing a situation whereby we have to make a decision at some point. You see, Krishna consciousness at the beginning is very exciting. You see, we are dancing, we are singing, feasting, etc. It's very nice, but at some points we have to go a bit deeper if we really want to attain the supreme goal. Because Krishna says, Man mana baba bhakto, man ajimam namaskuru. Always think of me. Only me. And in my personal experience, I was, by my destiny, I was separated from my family because I took to Krishna's, you see. I was married before, 2 children. I mean, happy life, but no Krishna's, happy life. I thought it was happy, enjoying the sense gratification. But deep within me, something was not quite right, not complete. Therefore, for many years, I was seeking higher knowledge. And I found basically great interest into the Indian culture. So I was in London. I was living from 10 minutes from the Swaminarayan temple in London, beautiful temple, all marble, gigantic, very aesthetic, like that. So I used to go there often, associate with the Indian community, and read about the literature, impersonalist literature, I must say. It was not like, I wasn't speaking about Krishna, the Supreme Person Godhead. Then I had an interest into Buddhism also. I felt very nice, you see. I was in a lot of anxiety before, but then I started to meditate, simply adding a little Om meditation music, you see, in a dark room with a few candles, and just sitting down and feeling so amazing. And I wanted more and more of that. But by the mercy of Shiva, actually, because after that I was part of a Shivaist group for a few months. Nityananda Paramahamsa, I don't know if you know it. It's quite famous. Nityananda Paramahamsa. His philosophy was nice. I mean, obviously a personalist. And sometimes he was speaking about Krishna. He was speaking about Bhagavad Gita, but not really explaining that Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead. That is the problem. But still, I was kind of happy to follow. But one day, I saw the devotee of Krishna on Oxford Street, chanting the glories of the Lord on Harinam. I saw them many times before, but that time, one devotee approached me and gave me this small book, Perfect Question, Perfect Answer. And that book made a huge difference in my life, you see. Because that small book had a much more impact in my consciousness, in my vision, compared to all the other books that I read previously for many years, you see. That book, following by the sense of self-realization, make me actually give up all my sinful activities. Because being born in France, I was naturally trained to eat meat, to drink at a young age, 14, 15 already. They put wine into your glass with a little water to cut it like that. Even for the young children, 3, 4 years old, no champagne? I mean, maybe not. It's a kind of luxurious type of alcoholic beverage, champagne, a lot of bubbles. And for the children, they created shampoo nu. So it's a bottle similar to the champagne, but it's apple with some bubbles, basically. So the children are there drinking their shampoo nu in glass similar to the adults, and they drink. Cheers, Santé. That's how you train, you condition the little child basically to become drinker, like that, and so many other things. So in India, you are very fortunate to have this base from the beginning of your life to be trained according to proper standards of human life. But in the West, it is very difficult because we are trained to become demons from right at the beginning of our life. So, reading Bhagavad Gita has helped me a lot. I started reading Bhagavad Gita in 2000. Jai Shishirumini Vanishanti Sita Ram Lakshmana Maki Shishigova Ki 2009 or 2008. But basically, that book has helped me to progress a lot and to really understand the Supreme Person Godhead as it is. So through the year, I realized the importance of following the instruction, but obviously you cannot follow the instruction on your own. You have to be guided. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada always stressed the point on association with the devotee. One has to follow has to be in association with the devotee. One has to find a spiritual master, as Prabhupada explained in the verse. One should not neglect the order of the Supreme Person of Godhead or the order of the spiritual master with the representative of God. So one may not see Krishna directly, but one will see the representative directly. And if one embraces the knowledge as he is, without indulging in mental speculation, he will be convinced. And when he is actually hearing the spiritual master, he understands that Krishna is speaking through him. So Krishna is very kind. We are lost in this material world, forgetful, but Krishna is always there with us. Ishvara Samabhutanam, Hridaya Janti Stati. Krishna is within our hearts. So Krishna is guiding us within our hearts. And Krishna is also guiding us outside through the guidance of the spiritual master. And Krishna is also there as eternal time. So as we move into our life, we can see the change of the body. We can see our body changing, becoming older, etc. This is Krishna. And with our intelligence, we should understand that this is a signal. This is an indication that I shouldn't waste any time. I should take very seriously what Krishna is saying. If you don't follow my direction and act according to the false ego, you will be falsely directed. So you should understand that there is no many choices, two choices. We follow Krishna and we are properly directed towards the ultimate goal of life. And if we don't follow Krishna, we will remain under the covering of Maya, of matter energy. And we may carry on like that for many lifetimes. You see, we are already in this matter world since time immemorial. Krishna explained, Srila Prabhupada explained, since time immemorial, so many lifetimes, countless lifetimes. But we have to see clearly what is going on. We have to see the very perplexed or very critical situation that we are in. Sometimes Maya makes us feel everything's right, everything's great, let me enjoy, let me have fun, you see. this is Maya. But we should understand that, as Prabhupada explained, real problem of life is this cycle of birth, of old age, disease and death, which is unavoidable. Everyone has to go through those 4 phases of life. So by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada has explained that it is possible in this lifetime to attain the supreme success and go back to Godhead. But it may take more time. So it all depends on our sincerity, how much we want to attain this supreme goal. But if we want to attain it, we should be very careful with our attachments, matter attachments, especially with excessive attachment with family members, properties, rich, etc. This is very, very critical. Yeah. Sometimes it is necessary to hear like that those facts, so that we can awaken. We can actually meditate upon that and try to be fully convinced and go towards the supreme goal directly, without hesitation. So, Hare Krishna. What time do you finish? 8:30? Sorry?
Yes.
Krishna. Thank you very much for your kind attention, everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Does anyone have any, I don't know, comment or questions? Yes, Prabhu.
You said that false ego is very, very difficult to
Overcome.
come.
Yeah.
The reason why it's difficult to come is because ego is real.
Yeah.
False ego is identifying with the false aspect of the ego,
Yeah.
or the forgetful nature of the soul.
Yeah.
That is why it actually does exist.
Yeah.
So the difficulty comes that if you do not realize your ego
Yeah.
as the servant of Krishna,
Yeah.
then you always be under the influence of false ego underlying.
Yeah. Therefore, we should always aim to be engaged constantly in the service of the Lord. Constantly without cessation. Prabhupada was constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. Even when he was sleeping, he was engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord. His disciples have seen that. He was lying on his bed, and his lips were moving. Basically, Maya will find a gap. Just like water will find a gap on unfiltered, Maya will find a gap. So as soon as we turn our attention to Krishna, Maya will actually attack us. Therefore, sometimes it is very difficult. We try to become a devotee of Krishna, try to advance, but we find ourselves distracted. Actually, Prabhupada gave definition of pure consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Complete serenity, clarity, and freedom from distraction. This is the definition given by Srila Prabhupada about pure Krishna consciousness. Ekya Kulonandana. Fix attention on the lotus feet of Krishna at every moment. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Gaura Premanandi.